Alright, good morning everyone. Today we're going to be just covering how to measure with a ruler in inches. So if you have a ruler lying around the house, pause the video, go grab it. You can use that at the end of our little lesson here. The ruler looks something like this. On the top we have the metric system, and then on the bottom we have inches. So a standard ruler will go from 1 inch here all the way to 12 inches over here. So 12 inches equals 1 foot. We're going to need to know that. So if we go to our next slide, we can see here that this is 1 inch from here to here. So if you look closely on the screen here, you'll see that 0 to 1 right here, that's what we're looking at on the screen. So we're just making this bigger so you can see it easier. So every inch is divided up into fractions. We're going to be using the smallest increment we're going to use is 1/16. You can go even smaller if you want to. So on our ruler here, if you look on the screen, we have 0 inches here, then we have 1 inch over here, and then all these lines are just dividing up the fraction into smaller measurements that we can use to measure objects. So the smallest increment we use would be 1/16. What that means is from this line here over here, this space is 1/16 of the whole ruler. So this is 1/16 of an inch. And then we go here, so we have 3/16. So here, this whole section here would be 3/16 of the whole inch. And this is going to go on to 5/16, 7, 9, 11, 13, and 15. Now another note, here we see this is 1/8. So this would be 1/16, 2/16, then 3/16. This is labeled 1/8 because this is the eighths, but also 2/16 can be simplified from a fraction down into 1/8. And we're going to go over that in another minute, a little bit more in another minute. So our next increment would be the eighths. So we have an eighth here, and then 3/8 here. So this would be, this whole thing is 3/8 of the entire inch. 5/8, and then 7/8 right here, which would be from here to here, is 7/8 of 1 inch. Then we have the fourths. So 1/4 is right here. This whole section here is 1/4 of the whole inch. Then here would be our 2/4, which is simplified to 1/2. So we have half here. So here's 2/4, and then 3/4 here, and then 4/4, which would be here, which is also 1 inch. And then of course 1/2. So 1/2 of the inch is right here. So each of these sections are 1/2 of an inch. Now this pattern from 0 to 1 inch continues on and on. So when you get to between 1 inch and 2 inches, you're going to see the same numbers. And if we flip over here, we're going to see this ruler here. So from 0 to 1, we have all our measurements. We have the 16ths, the eighths, the fourths, and the halves. So once you get to 1, that pattern continues again. So right here, we have this 1/16. So this measurement would be, right here, would be 1 inch and 1/16, or 1 1/16 inches. So we look at this line here. I drew these real quick. We know that this would be 2 inches, and that looks to be about right there, which we know is a fourth. So this would be 2 1/4 inches. So another practice. We have this one here. I'll give you 5 seconds to see if you can figure out what this measurement is up here. So it looks like it is about 1 1/16 of an inch. With this line down here, going all the way to over here, slide that up, it looks to be just between 3.5 and 3 9/16. So it's kind of in between those two. And our final line, if you can kind of see, it goes all the way here. And if we slide that up, it looks to be about 5 1/8. This is just showing you how the pattern of all of our fractions repeats over and over again with each new inch. So all you have to know is memorize what's in between 0 and 1, and you'll know how to measure anything on the inch ruler. Now just to break this down a little bit more, if we look here, so this is the 1 inch, here is half. So I'm just dividing up this ruler into 2 halves so you can see that's all we're doing with these measurements. These blocks are 1/2 of an inch. Same thing here with 1/4. So each of these blocks are going to be 1/4 of the ruler or of the inch. So 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, 4/4 equaling 1 whole inch. I'm just trying to show you guys, visualize how we break up the ruler and what these measurements mean. Same thing here, we are just dividing the ruler into eighths. So each of these blocks are. So here, 1/8, 2/8, 3/8. So we have 3 blocks representing 1/8. And then the last, here's just all of them together. So these 2 halves equal 1. These 4 blocks equal 1 inch, or the 2 halves, and so on. So my whole point is just getting you guys to visualize what all these fractions and lines mean. So that's our brief introduction to this. Since you guys are at home, if you have a ruler, I would use it and just measure some random object on your house for practice. Smartphones work great if you want to try that. If you don't have a ruler and you have a printer, you can go to the Schoology page and print the scale ruler on that file, or you can open up the link which will show you a whole ruler on your screen, so you can hold objects up to the screen and measure them. That is all for today. Have a great day.